Hello everyone, hello, how are we doing? I am just checking that we are all live. Yay, it looks like we are live. I'll just check that the sound is good. Hello everyone.
Hello everyone.
Hey, you can hear me twice. You always have to hear me twice just so that I can check that it's working. Okay, let's move to an overhead view. Hello. So let's get this a bit more central. That's a bit better, isn't it? So how is everyone doing? Are we all okay today? It is a change of day. So if you found me, well done you. I have sent out a newsletter in the last sort of hour, got this on socials. So hopefully you got to see that we are live. I've had a change of date because we have got a lot going on tomorrow at the salon. So for those of you that don't know Time for Tea and don't know some of the more recent changes to our lives, it has been it's hectic at the moment. There is such a lot going on, and I often wonder whether I should do more behind the scenes things for you guys, because just to get a sense of what it's like to kind of run your own business and the different challenges. Hello Laura, how are you? Because we not only run Time for Tea, but we also run a hair salon called Perfection. Well, it's a hair and beauty salon. It's actually two separate businesses. So Perfection Hair Studios and Perfection Beauty Studio. So so we're actually running three businesses alongside Ant working full-time as a firefighter as well. So there's always something going on. So this morning, ahead of us going live, I've been doing admin and invoicing for Time for Tea. I've been doing admin for Perfection. I've been dealing with staff at the salon who need my help there today as well. So we've been working with those guys. I've also taken little Mabel to the vets. So she's actually just trotted into the room just now and then trotted back out again. So Mabel's been to the vets today as well. And I've got an appointment later on this afternoon to go to. So it's a very busy day here at Time for Tea. So I'm really excited to be able to get just an hour out of my day doing a nice little bit of crafting with you guys. And I'm hoping that that's what we can do today. And the title of the video obviously is a little bit of a giveaway of what we're going to do, because I am looking to do something a little bit Easter related. I know it's still super early. We're in February, but I really think that before you know it, we are going to be in full on planning for Easter mode. It is the half-term holidays here in the UK and in most parts of the UK, I believe. So, we are starting to think about kids' holidays. The next holiday after this will be the Easter holidays. So yeah, it's we are getting to that time of year now where we're starting to think spring, even though it is still cold and dreary outside. Good morning to Crafty Queen. Lovely to be here with you on a live. Not managed to join you for a wee while. Looking forward to it today. I'm looking forward to it too, and I'm gonna really crack on because, like I say, I only have really an hour today to do anything, so I want to be able to get as much in as we possibly can. Part of my plan today is also going to be doing some designing for the new release. So we have designs that I'm looking at for our new hobby maker shows. So we're back on March the 18th, but we're also on in April as well. So again, some nice designs coming up for that. But I also have a new stamp and die release looking forward to that as well. So yeah, lots of work to be done on those things, and we're recruiting for a design team. Oh my goodness, it's all happening. I honestly don't know how I'm keeping it all straight in my head at the moment. I think you'll probably find that I'm not keeping it that straight, but we're getting there. So my plan today was to use some stencils and some of our little bunny, go on, our little bunny Easter themed stamps. That's what I was trying to say, bunny stamps. So we have the birthday bunnies here. This is extra special birthday. So this is a birthday set, but can also be used for Easter. So I've tried to make it quite a generic set, but does work for Easter because we've got the Easter eggs in there. We've got obviously our cute little bunnies, which you can use back and forwards for, but we've also got a cute birthday cake. And then this is the Fruitful Friends. I think this is what this one's called. Yes, this is the Fruitful Friends. And this has got a cute little bunny in there as well, who's not holding anything particularly in his paws. So we could use him to obviously work alongside our other bunnies here. So I thought that would be quite cute to use those side by side. And the stencil that I've chosen is our extra special layering stencil, because this one's a really cute one for creating a nice background, whether you use it with the layers or not. So you can use just these gorgeous little eggs, almost like mini eggs, and then obviously you can use the coordinating layers over the top. So you just have to get that the right way around. So I will figure that out. I believe that I will fathom that. There we go, that's the right way around. So you've then got the pattern that goes on top of each of those lovely little little eggs. So I'm thinking I'm going to use this as my backdrop. Crafting Queen says, great suggestion, asking if we'd like to see some behind the scenes reels, Joes. That would be good, but no pressure though. You sound like you're busy enough running everything. I know, this is the thing, because you know, behind the scenes sounds really fun to do, but you have to then coordinate it and remember to film it, and then you also have to remember to edit it and post it, which is, you know, then when you start thinking about it, you think, oh, yeah, that's just giving me another job to do. I'm not sure about that. so yeah, so it can be a little bit, you know, be careful what you sign up for kind of thing. So I have my card base here. This is an A6 top folding card base, but obviously I can use it as a landscape as well. And then just trying to think about how I might want to design my piece. So I'm going to add into it, I think, a die set, and the die set that I'm going to add into it, so I've got a couple of options. I've got my 5 window die, which is really quite cute. I find that so helpful. Let me also look for, we've got this one as well, which is another fun shape. And also, depending on how much of my design I want to have on show. Oh, actually, there was also the sweet scallop, which is another lovely one, isn't it? Yes. So we've got several die options here. So we've got the windows, and if we think about the windows on top of maybe our background, so if we were going to have all our lovely eggs in the background, then you know you're going to have that on the top of that, so that's going to give us those little windows. We also have a similar situation with this particular die, but this has got a much larger window here and then smaller ones that we can use for different little decorations. So we've got obviously we've got our little carrots here, we've got extra eggs, we've got the cute little bird. So that would be really sweet. That one would work quite well. Or we could keep it a bit more simple and use either this smaller frame with our little bunnies in the middle of the frame, or we could use the larger frame around the outside, which has got the lovely scallops. So yeah, so I think, you know, one of those could work really quite well as well. In fact, I'm torn to be honest with you, as to which of those to use now, because I've almost given myself too many options here. I quite like the idea of using this one, the smaller frame, because I've not used the smaller frame for a while. And I also think I would quite like to do a little border around the outside edge before I add my stencil. So I think I might do that first, add my background, and then cut out this in a bit of white cardstock so that we've got our background sorted out. Or I might cut it out in coloured cardstock. I'm not quite sure on that one yet, but I know I'm definitely going to have a white background here, and I feel like I've not folded my card base correctly, so I'm just going to rectify that. Laura says, yes, it's a lot of work for a 30-second video clip. It is, especially as, like you say, on Instagram, I think the most you can do in on a story is 90 seconds, and then on a reel, I think it's 10 minutes. Anyway, it's, yeah, you're very limited to the amount of time that you can actually use. And the amount I like to ramble on, as you know. Hello Claire, how are you? And Laura says, yes, use all the things mode has been activated. That is very much it. That is very much the thought process at the moment. Just use all of the things, because when you've not crafted for a while and you get the opportunity to, I just think it's quite hard not to want to use everything. And there are, you know, so many lovely products that we've got. So I've just got a bit of washi tape here, and I've just used a little bit of it on my hand just to get some of the sticky off, really, because I don't want it to be too sticky and then not come off my card and just take all my card with it. So I am actually going to just use a little bit of the oils in my skin to take off some of that stickiness. And then I'm just eyeballing roughly how big I want that that border to be. So not too big a border, but, and again, I'm not measuring it. If you wanted to be more precise, then I'm gonna say it's probably maybe 3/4 of a centimetre, 1/2 centimetre roughly is what I'm looking for as a border, but I like to just wing it. Crafting Queen seconds Laura's use all the things principle. I love that. So another little bit on there, and that I think that will be a nice little border. And then we're going to use our eggs. So the first thing to do is to use the base layer, which is just the eggs themselves. Now I could do these in lots of different colours if I wanted to. I could give them a general base shade of colour, and then we do the colour on top. I think I am going to go with a general base colour of a really pale, I think I'm going to go with either a pale blue or a pale pink. I might go with the pale blue, almost like they are they're white but with a blue edge to them. So I'm going to use my tumbled glass for this, and I know on Instagram the view is a little bit more tight, so I'm going to use my smaller brush for this. So this is our beautiful blender brush. It is the smaller head size in the tumbled glass colour, and that's because, and I am going to add a little bit of tape to this as well, because I never do this. I never make sure that my stencil is in place, and I want to make sure that this doesn't move because I want to get quite a nice crisp sort of line, but just around the outside edges of my eggs. So I'm using the tiniest bit of ink, to the point of you probably won't even be able to see it on screen. So you'll have to trust the process a little bit. And I've never tried this, so this is an experiment for me too. But I know the kind of look that I want to achieve. And this is kind of what I would do if I was colouring them in with pen, with with my Copic markers or my alcohol markers or my watercolours. And let me also say that you could potentially use your watercolour markers or your pencils using the shapes that you've got here as a guide. So you don't have to use your inks for this. If you didn't want to, you could potentially use your other mediums as well. So don't just think stencils are for that purpose. And I might do a little experiment to see how that works using maybe some watercolour markers, watercolour pencils, or even just my regular pencils, because you're just using the stencil shape as a guide, aren't you, for the rest of your design. So you're using the stencil anyway to create a pattern. How you choose to create that pattern and what medium you use obviously is up to you. So we now have our little base layer on there, and like I say, you're probably not going to be able to see that too well until I take this off, and then you should be able to see just some very pale little outlines. And if I've lined this up correctly, which I hope I have, these designs should fit over the top of that now. So again, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to add my tape over the top, just on the edges there, just so that that doesn't move. So we want to make sure that we've got that all matching up with what's underneath. So now I've got to think about colour scheme, and one of the things that I really like to do, which I think is really helpful, is if you've got a paper pad that you like that's got nice colours within it, then it's good to use that as a bit of inspiration. So our Pretty Pastels, I think, is going to be the perfect inspiration for this. So I'm going to use these four colours here, my yellow, green, pink and lilac, to make a little pattern behind my for each of my eggs. So greens, I'm going to go with I think we'll go with, I'm thinking maybe the Twisted Citron might be a bit too bright. The Evergreen Boughs a little bit dark, so it's probably going to be a bit of mowed lawn. I don't know if there is a green that is more that spring sort of green. I think I've used like a bundle sage before, but that is a bit too sagey green. So we'll go with the mowed lawn because it is a bit of a brighter shade. I'm going to go with some squeezed lemonade for my yellow. For my pink, I think that's a really pretty cool shade of pink. So potentially the Kish Flamingo is going to be a nice one for that. And then for my lilac, I've got some milled lavender shaded lilac. Let's have a look. I'm going to say that is a bit more of a blue tone, but I think I'm going to go with it because it's a little bit fresher. and brighter than the milled lavender. So we've made our choices. That's inspired us for our choices. So I'm going to line all of these up around my design here, and pop the lids off, and then let's get to doing a little bit of crafting. So I need a pink, a green and a lavender. So again, I'm going to use my smaller brushes. Oh, and I need a yellow as well, don't I? So let me grab my yellow brush as well. So we've got our 4 different brushes here to use, all with the smaller heads, because they're obviously going to help me get into the design a little bit better. And I'm going to start with, I'm just going to do these in kind of random points. So a bit of yellow over there. Let's try a bit of green next to it. So we'll have this one in green, and I think next to that one. So I'm going to try and keep all of the colours kind of separate, if that makes sense. Because our colours are opaque, well, they're semi opaque, I think, so they can potentially show some of the colour underneath, but because I'm doing it in such a concentrated manner, because the heads are smaller, that shouldn't be an issue. So I think we'll go with a bit of yellow just there, and then I think might go with green the top here. You can see just how having this smaller head design is allowing me to just pick out the colours that I really want. Bit of pink, I think a bit of pink there is going to look nice. So yeah, there's a potential that blue underneath could turn my pink into purple, but because we're concentrating the colour, I think that's why it's managing to stay quite fresh. And we'll keep that one, we'll do that one in a nice pink as well. Lovely. And then maybe a green and a yellow. And then a bit of yellow here. Nice. And then a bit of purple down here. That's really nice. A bit of green is going to balance that. Maybe a bit of green on this side as well. That green is so fresh, it's really lovely. I'm going to say yellow down here, and then maybe yellow there as well. And then this final corner, I think I'm going to make that pink. You're only going to see a little bit of it, but that should all be in place. Now, I have treated myself to some new microfiber cloths because mine were looking pretty grubby. So I'm going to grab one of these. Let's grab my nice new purple microfiber towel, because this is how I'm going to clean up all of my brushes. So I'm just going to give them a good little rub onto that, and then we'll pop the little lids back on, keep them all nice and clean. And the green, and in particular you can see the colour coming off onto my towel there, but in particular the green is going to be the yellow, sorry, is going to be the one that's going to is going to impact your other colours if you don't give that a good clean. So that one is very pigmented and really does stand out, so we'll give that a good clean as well. So Crafting Queen says, Jo, will you be going to the Creative Craft show in Glasgow this year, or is it a bit too far for you travelling wise, taking time away from the business? 6th to 8th of March. Unfortunately, we won't be going to that one. You're right, it is a bit of a distance for us to go to. So we won't be going to the Glasgow show. It's probably unlikely that we're going to be going to any shows this year because of the rising costs, but we potentially have some news that would mean that you guys could come and visit us more regularly coming up soon. So that's a little bit of a sneaky peek of information that we will, we'll be able to give you more details of that later on. So I've just revealed my little eggs, and they are looking so cute. You can see I've not quite lined it up perfectly, but I don't think that matters because they look so adorable. And I'm going to give this a clean in a second, but I'm also going to remove this bit of tape as well, because this is our little border that we've created for ourselves. So we've created a little fake frame, haven't we, for our card. So this is going to work really nicely because it means we've created one layer here, so that's a little bit less bulk. I feel like that might still be a bit sticky, so I'm going to move it from this side and just let the tape roll away. There we go. Lovely. So and that's really the backdrop of our card, which is gorgeous, isn't it? So let's grab get our stencil a good clean up now before we get any of this ink on anything else. And that's why those particular little brushes really do come into their own. Such a cute little stencil, that one. We don't have many of those left either, so if you are wanting to grab one, then yes. So yes, please, too, coming to see us. Would you like that option? Because again, I know we are a long way away for most people, particularly if you are, in Scotland. But we do really want to be around more often, not just at the odd show here and there. And like I say, because the cost of us getting there and taking everything with us does take us away from the business. It isn't just the day that you're there. There's all the preparing for it, the setting up of it, the cost of travel, the cost of hotels when you're there if you're having to travel further, the cost of then your stand and all of that, which then means we're not really able to do them as often, and we can't always offer you them better prices because we've got to be able to cover the cost of the stand and the travel and blah blah blah. Whereas if we're doing it in our own premises more often, then that feels like that would be better, doesn't it? So Claire, I know you can get to Sheffield because we're only about an hour away, aren't we, which is great. So yeah, so watch this space. I'm hoping it's going to be around the summertime, maybe before, if we can get our acts together. We've just got a bit of work to do and logistics to sort out, but we are on it. So this is my cute little frame. I don't know what colour I want to do my cute little frame yet. I've not decided. I might do it in like maybe a craft shade would look quite cute, with the kind of the theme of it. But then let's think about what we want to put inside our little story here. So we have got, of course, our gorgeous little bunny rabbit. So this is our little bunny, and he's running to make, somebody's Easter. And we've also got a gorgeous little Easter egg there. Now the sentiments are gorgeous as well. So we've got Hoppy Easter, which we can we can pop on there, which I think would be very cute. Happy Easter. And we've also got, I think the Happy Easter would look really nice on there, wouldn't it? Just like that. And then I also want to pop our gorgeous little little bird, because he's so cute, and I know he's one of Design Team Annalisa's favourites as well. So I do think that's adorable. So what do you think? I think I'm liking this little layout. I think it would be really very cute to have maybe a little bit of this craft coloured card for the frame. And then we've got our little images here that we need to just stamp out. And I don't know whether to stamp these on directly onto my background or onto my or onto white cardstock. So I might do them onto white cardstock and then see how we get on. I think this might be too wide for my plates here, so I'm gonna have to pop this through the larger machine. So bear with while we do that, because that's my first bit, if we can get that done. This is going to be such a cute little card, such an easy one to recreate as well because of that stencil. And you could do it in so many different ways. So you could potentially, and maybe, you know, I'm still torn as to whether I should have done the craft cardstock as my border around the outside as well, which you could definitely do. Right, excuse me while my my die cutting machine makes a huge noise. It is a very big plate for a smallish die, but it will get me a really great finish. You can just pop that in there. And then I'm going to grab, I think I'm going to grab some of my Nina Classic Crest cardstock for my images, because I've got a little piece here and I don't really need a huge piece of cardstock, because we've just got a couple of images here that we need to stamp out. And then, like I said, for the sentiments, I'm not quite sure what to do with those. So you do get the centerpiece as well, so you could use that for something. Obviously you keep hold of your negative spaces as well, and then we'll just give that a little tap, and then the little frame will come out. So would anyone else be interested in popping to Sears? Maybe coming to look at some new stocks, maybe some in you know, in shop bargains like you would kind of get during a show, but also coming to classes and just generally having a crafty day out at time for tea. Who would be up for that, do you think? Because that's where we want to get to. I think that's the ultimate dream, is that we can get to see you guys in person more often. Because once a year at a craft show really is not enough, is it? Oh, I've got my iPad plugged in here so that I can keep an eye on what's going on. You know, make sure that we're still on air and still live, and realise that it's not actually plugged into charge, so that's helpful, isn't it? So let's stamp our little guys down here. give that a good firm press. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So we'll give this a little wipe. This is looking like a really nice, crisp, clean card already, which I really like. Like I said, the Hoppy Easter could simply go on the background there, couldn't it? I think it would be noticeable there, or we could pop it up onto you know, on a separate piece of card. We could even ink emboss it onto some of this coloured cardstock as well, which is an option. But I think I'm going to try, she says, to stamp it first, just straight onto my background. Just need to try and make sure it's straight, because we don't want a wonky sentiment, really, do we? Ideally. So I'm just using the lines on my acrylic block here to line that up, and that looks pretty nice and straight. And then I'm going to use some VersaFine, and I've popped my little frame roughly where I would have it when I come to stick it down. So that, but it's not stuck down because I am going to add foam to it. So let's make sure that that's quite even. And then I've added my ink, and now I can see just where I want to place that sentiment. So carefully and firmly we've added that, and now we've got Hoppy Easter in the bottom there. I think that looks cute. So we can see, once we've got all our images on, if we like that. If we don't, we can still cover that up with our images. So moving to our little bunny rabbits. When I'm colouring my bunny rabbits, I like to use the E40 shades. So I've got E43, E42, E41 and potentially E40. So that might seem like a lot of colours, but we're not necessarily going to use all of them. Looking at your questions, sorry, Shani says she would definitely come. That's awesome. Claire says yes, yes, yes from Jessica and I. Laura says I'm housebound, so wouldn't be able to, but person-to-person meetups sound great. And Claire's asking weekends. Yes, it would be weekends and during the week, potentially, is the plan. So that's really good to know that you guys would be up for that, because, you know, it's going to be no good opening our doors if nobody wants to turn up. So, and I'm sorry you're housebound, Laura, but that's why the lives are good, isn't it? Because if we can't see you in person, at least we can do, you know, we can catch up in the best way possible. With lives. I do think that you know, that's one of the things that potentially, although we did do them a little bit before, but COVID has given us much more access to being able to meet up virtually with each other, and made us a little bit more comfortable with it, even, really, isn't it? Because it's just become quite normal now to do maybe classes online and so on. Crafting Queen says it's probably a bit far for me at the moment. Health not the best currently, but would definitely be something you'd look into if you started running events like that. I'm sure there'd be a hit. That's fabulous. And I'm sorry your health's not the best. And it's sometimes nice to have a little bit of a goal in mind when when you are on a bit of a health journey. Things aren't looking great at the moment, but then having somewhere that you might want to go to when you are feeling better just gives you a little bit of a goal, doesn't it? I know my mum, you'll have all heard me talk about my mum's health issues over the last 12 months have been particularly bad, and I know for her being out of the house is quite a scary a scary thought for her at the moment. She's not quite sure how she's going to get on health-wise, so she's very nervous of it. But she has had goals in mind, like coming to visit me and Anne at the salon and seeing what we've done, seeing what we've achieved, and seeing my sister for her birthday, and just things like that that, you know, become even more important when you're not feeling great, and you know you haven't been able to leave the house for a while. So it is good to have those like destination goals, if you know what I mean, because I know that has helped her to make that move out of the house, whereas she wouldn't perhaps have done it as quickly if she didn't have those goals to meet that meant something to her. So so I do understand how frustrating it must be, you know, to not being able to get out and about when you want to. So there, I've just ended up using as far as the E41. Actually, I didn't use my E40 in the end because that is much cooler colour. This I think gives me kind of a traditional kind of wild bunny colouring, so we're going for more of that kind of illustrative kind of bunny colour, rather than it being a pure white bunny that you might see in a cartoon. I'm going to give him a little darker nose, but I will use the E40. Actually, I said I wasn't going to use it, but I am going to use him on his little tail because, again, it is a little white cotton tail, but there will be some aspects of grey brown in there because it is a natural colour. The R20 is my usual go-to for ears and little pink cheeks, so I'll add a little bit of that to his ears and then a little bit to the cheeks, just to give him a little bit of colour. And that's our little bunny completed. It's very easy to colour, very cute. Claire says that you made that look so easy. Oh, bless you. I mean, I didn't really explain that in a great deal of detail, and I should do more colouring videos. And again, it's on that great long list of to-dos, isn't it? But I tend to start with my darkest colour and then work my way in, as a general rule of thumb. Crafting Queen says, again, sorry about Laura being housebound, and oh, sorry, I missed Laura's before, saying that the internet and online craft community is your lifeline. You love the lives. I'm so glad that we can be here. And I know that Claire and Jess would watch us throughout lockdown. And again, it kind of got people through that experience, myself included. You know, having you guys to talk to and craft along with every week has always been such a tonic for me. I feel like I've started to go kind of nasally again because I'm full of cold. I think I'm getting a cold. I was ever so poorly yesterday, like just felt bleh. You know when you just feel bleh. That is an actual technical term for feeling unwell, by the way. I'm just going to use some colours that match with the ones that we've used on our background here. So I'm just randomly picking out colours. I've got a YG03 for my green. For my bit of lilac, I'm going to go with a BV02. And I think I will do that just around the top there. I might do, yeah, let's do around the bottom as well. So yeah, I was feeling decidedly rubbish, shall we say, and very sort of lethargic and a bit miserable, and also just a bit yeah, generally just a bit meh, which is not good when you've got things to be doing, of course. It can be a little bit frustrating because you've got stuff to do and your body doesn't want to do it. So, you know, you just have to power through, don't you? But yeah, I think that it's potentially just maybe just being a little bit run down. The time of year, there's lots of it about. Lot more kids knocking about with the germs because of half term. So it could be a combination of all of those things, really, couldn't it? Going for a nice bright yellow with a Y06 now, to just fill in that gap. So this is a lovely bright Easter egg, the type of Easter egg that you would probably have coloured in at school yourself. Let me grab a bit of a darker yellow just to add a little bit of shading around the edges there. And because we've done a YG05 or 3, sorry, I might go with the YG07, just again to add a little bit of contrast around the edges so that it doesn't look like a flat egg but looks like a curved egg. So just blend those edges in a little bit as well. So that's our cute little egg. I love to see you guys having a little chat and getting to know each other as well. It's so interesting that you guys have got something in common as well. It's really nice that you're able to have those conversations while we're crafting, because again, like we say, it is a community. You are able to then, you know, support each other, which is really, really nice. So my little chick, I'm not quite sure how I wanted to colour him in. I didn't know whether to go for a really pale colour or for a really bright colour. So I've actually going a bit paler than I originally thought, just because I think that's going to look quite cute. So I've gone for, in the end, I've gone for the Y11. I did start with canary yellow. He's not a canary, is he? So I've changed my idea on that. But I do want to add a bit of shadow to him, but I don't want to make him too bright yellow. So this is the perfect shade. This is Buttercup Yellow. It's Y21. And I am now, normally I would do the darker colour first, but don't know why my iPad has decided not to charge up. It's creating me some stress. Bear with me, I don't want it to die. There we go. So yeah, I would normally have done this first, but like I say, I just dove straight in there, not really knowing what I wanted to do. So you can go over with that darker shade, and you can still get a nice blend with that just by topping up the paler colour. And then I will give him a brighter yellow beak. So he's got a bit more of an orange coloured beak. In fact, I might even go brighter than that. So that was Y19, but I don't think you can even see it. So we've got a Y38 here. That's better. So he's got a bit of a brighter colouring there to his beak. I'll just have a little move around here so that I know where everything is. Popping my pens back in the right place is very important to me. And then I need a little bit of colour to those cheeks. Cute. So that's my images done. Adorable. Can you see that if I bring it a bit closer as well? So cute. So the next thing to do with these guys is cut them out. So we do have the coordinating dies here. So I'll just take them off the backing. We've got this guy. We've got our egg. I think that's the larger egg shape, isn't it? That's right. And then where's my little bird? He's so adorable. Right, okay. Let's pop that there. And that one can go there. And then we should be able to get all of these then through our little die cutting machine. So if we line this guy up in the right way, just make sure I'm not going to cut his legs off, so that would be a disaster. And then get my little die cutting plates. So this is my smaller die cutting machine. This is my favourite. Hello to Jane, Cards Days Night, watching over on Instagram. She says she's watching with Molly and Charlotte, who are off on half term. Hello, I hope you're having a lovely half term. I can just about see comments on Facebook and YouTube, and the odd one on Instagram, because I'm watching the Instagram live myself to be able to see it. I don't yet have the technology knowledge to be able to watch all of the comments from one place, so I'm a bit all over the shop there. So but I appreciate you watching, and I also can't see anybody commenting on TikTok. So if you are a TikTok watcher, and I know we do have people who watch on TikTok, so I'm so grateful to everybody that's watching over on TikTok. I am, again, one of my many lists of things to do is to work with you guys over on TikTok and try and, you know, build up more content over there. They're just such very different places to work, and need different requirements, that I find it's just can be mind boggling. But I feel like this could be the year to tackle it, because we've got a lot of other things, processes that are in place and are working, that it'd be nice to focus a bit of attention on that. So let's put this together, because this is a cute card. I'm absolutely loving this card and how it's coming together. With this this little frame here, this would be the ideal frame for you to make a bit of a shaker card as well, just saying. I think SteamYard will pull through comments from most platforms, but it's not necessarily cheap. Oh, I don't know SteamYard. We use Streamlabs, but that only pulls through our comments from YouTube and Facebook so far. I don't know why it doesn't do the others. I don't know if I need to do something, click something that I haven't already clicked, you know. And it's one of those where you think, I haven't got the brain space yet to quite fathom that one out. But one of these days I shall. I could do with somebody who is a streaming expert, because I know a lot of these platforms are made particularly for people who are gamers, because gamers do a lot of live streaming, don't they? And I think as crafters we've just jumped on the top of some of those platforms, but more and more people are doing the live streams now, so they are opening it up to more platforms and different uses. But I still haven't really got a clue what I'm doing. I mean, the fact that I actually am streaming to all these different places is a little bit of a wonder to me, to be honest, because it is yeah, I think a lot of it has been more luck than judgment, maybe. I don't know. It has been no, that's wrong to say, because I have put a lot of work and effort into it, but I have been winging it almost. So I've watched a million YouTube videos about how to do it. I've looked at different options, researched different streaming types, and spoken to people who stream on a regular basis. So I've managed to pick up hints and tips along the way that work for me and for what we're trying to do. But I know there's still so much more that we could do, and so much more that I could learn. But it's just having the time and the attention and focus to be able to do it. I'm going to add a little bit of glue to this little guy's paw, because I want him to be running along with his Easter egg that he's found. So I'm going to pop that into his cute little paw there, and then he needs to be on a bit of tape himself. So let's grab. I'm going to grab some of my wide tape here. I'll try to remember to send you a link, Joe. It's really user friendly. The proof being that I can use it. That's very cute. Thank you so much, Jane. That's really, really helpful. I know we are all kind of learning from each other, aren't we, in this this industry, which is really good that it is so so helpful. We do currently pay for our streaming platform, so it is it's one of those things. It's an expense that you have to be used to, I suppose, to be able to get what you want out of it. So oh my goodness, how cute is that little I love that little bird so much. It's very, very cute. I love adding these tiny little characters that are just like so I don't know, they are just really funny, and they add a little bit of something extra, don't they, to the whole picture. So this little guy is going to be, I was going to have him up there, but I think he just looks really cute there. He could even sit on top of the sentiment and make the sentiment pop. I do like that. I'm just going to push this guy up the other way a little bit because of that, because I'm going to stick him on top of there. And then he can go there. That's it. He's very cute. I love that. Do I put him right on top so he's standing on top of it, or do I have him like boinging up? He could be boinging up, couldn't he? That's very cute. I'm toying with whether I put him at the bottom there or at the top here, like he's bouncing. I quite like him bouncing, and I might even add some little bounce lines just to prove that he's bouncing. Laura says that she would like a card full of chicks. So cute. They are so cute, aren't they? And Crafting Queen says, I love how you run your life. So natural, so relaxed. Well, for us watching. Love watching your creative process and when you make changes to your planned demo. That's it. I think this is why I do like to... Oh, Claire's voted bottom, but then also for bounce lines. So two votes. You see, this is why I couldn't decide, Claire, because both look cute. So you could do either. But yes, Crafting Queen, I obviously a lot of people will say to me, oh, you need to plan them, you need to have them prepped, a bit like they are when we go on Hobby Maker. But I like to go through the whole creative process with you, because that's how you guys craft at home, and that's how I craft naturally. Is I do change from my original idea many times, because we do it. I think sometimes it can seem like it's too easy on TV, that it's all I could never do that, because it's all been pre-planned. But there's been a lot of versions that have gone on before that, and it's all part of the fun of the creative process, isn't it? So yeah, I do much prefer doing lives like this, where I'm just making it up as I go along, and you can help me decide what we do and how it comes out. Talking to you guys helps me decide what I'm going to do next. So a few little dots and dashes for highlights, as you know we like to do. Some on my little Easter egg here as well. and again on my cute little chick that we've all decided is adorable. There've got to be more chicks in our future, haven't there? The other thing that it is really nice to do is to add a few little highlights to your frame, because that does just help make it pop a little bit. So I'm going to do that all the way around. So one on each corner. So that'll just help tie all of that in. And then the little bounce lines. Now, I say bounce lines, I wasn't quite sure whether to do upward strokes. So let's just check my pen is working. Yeah, I think a couple of little upward strokes that suggest that he's boinged up there is quite cute. I'll just do a little third one there. Boing. that's actually made me laugh, and I think if your card can make you smile, then you've definitely achieved something. So I'm just going to take off the little top side of my ink there off the nib, just so that it runs a little freely, and then we can add a little bit of gloss to make those eyes pop a little bit more. And there we have it. That is our finished card for today. Hello Pippa. Pippa says, been listening and watching for a while but not commented yet. Sorry, but love listening to the creative thought process. Oh Pippa, thank you so much for commenting. It's really nice when people comment and say hello, because then I know I'm not talking to myself. So I love it when people chip in. And Laura says, don't you find that the unplanned winging it cards can sometimes turn out better than the planned ones? Absolutely, because I think you can get too much in your own head and you do overthink it, whereas if you're just free with it and you've just got perhaps a favourite stamp set like the one we've used today, you know, a favourite set that you want to use, and then just play and just have fun with it, and yeah, they can often turn out the best. I mean, I did not intend to make this card when I set out to do this live today. I had an idea that I wanted to use my stencils and I wanted to use this particular stamp set, but I had no idea that we'd end up with a hoppy little chick. And I'm so glad that we did this, because that's probably my favourite bit of the card. and this, if I'd got one of those action wobblers, and I'm sure I've got some somewhere, but I've no idea. You could do this as a landscape. You could do the Hoppy Easter with the bunny hopping on an action wobbler and put some of your little action lines in there, and it will actually move. And I think that would be really, really cute. So I'm really happy with that. I hope you guys really like it too. Such a fun, easy and simple card to make, that one. So I would love it if anybody decides to recreate it or make one with the action wobblers, then please do share it on our Facebook friends page. Laura says, does anyone make the wobbler mechanism small enough to fit behind the chick? No, I don't think they are. The only other thing that you could do would be to cut up some small bits of paper and maybe make a little concertina. So this is the backing from my foam tape, isn't it? So it's very shiny, this, so this probably won't stick, but you could potentially make a little spring that would spring up. That could work in a similar way, but it's not as springy or as cute as the actual mechanism, the proper action wobblers. But that could be an alternative. But oh, I'm so happy with that. So happy with that. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today, guys. I am going to wrap it up there because we've got a beautiful card and I don't want to jinx it by adding anything else to it. I think we've done what we set out to do, and I'm really pleased with that. So I'm going to take some pictures. I'll pop them up on our socials this week, and you'll be able to rewatch the live straight after this on all of the channels. Apparently a change to Facebook means that they will only be available for 30 days now, but you can watch them on YouTube anytime you like, and we've got hundreds of videos now that you can watch on our YouTube channel. If you're looking for some inspiration, we've got all sorts on there, so please do go back and have a look at some of those, and I will see you again next week. I think we'll probably be back to Fridays. However, it does look like Thursday's been quite popular, so we may make it a Thursday regular thing rather than a Friday. I will have a look at our schedule and see which works best. We're just still trying to work out what the best time for you guys is, and maybe there's just more of you around because it's half term, but yeah, we will see you next week regardless. Have a fabulous half-term week. Have a fabulous crafty week if you get to. And I'll see you all again next week.